Hello, welcome back to The Full Frame with Mark and Ben. I'm Ben. I thought it'd be fun for this video, like Mark did with his brownie, I'd get Mark to have a go with this camera. He's always been fond of this camera, but never really had a proper shoot with it. So we're gonna go out, take some pictures, the best type of pictures I think this camera is good for, portraits. And I'm also going to shoot a few portraits on my f6 with a modern lens, and we'll be able to compare the quality of a 35mm camera with quite a nice lens to, you know, a pretty old medium format lens camera with also a nice lens. So I think, you know, this will, quality-wise, will hold up to the best you can get from a 35mm camera. Here you go, Mark.
Cheers.
Don't drop it.
Yeah, you've only got
Five
left.
So
no, sorry, 6. You're on the 5th.
I'm on 5.
You're on the 5th photo, so you've got.
So shall I start with no instruction?
I wouldn't recommend that.
But so I need a light reading.
Yes.
Okay.
But then
is that obvious what I need to do? What's there? That's 400 ISO.
400, yeah.
So what do I do? How do I shoot it?
That's the shutter there, but it's got a lock on it, so you just have to use your nail because it's really stiff. So push it that way. No, use your nail.
Like that. So I just fire now.
Yeah. Don't just fire it.
That's what I've lost the shot.
So you have a look at how close you can get. So wind the focus all the way and see what your focusing distance is, and then sort of decide what you
there
can get in shot.
And it's just what looks like. If it looks like it's in focus, right?
Yeah, you're really just going off your eye. There's no.
Oh, so this will be out then. Ready? Oh. Is that a satisfying noise to you?
Yeah, it's old school. Yeah. We've
Cool.
spoken about this before. There's definitely like some male kind of thing with mechanical
in the
noises.
very first stage, you got a with it.
Yeah.
You had a big.
with the bulb flash. Yeah.
So what I have is a 6x7, and you can tell by, let me grab my close-up shot. Is this recording? You can tell by this bit here, which the strap lugs in the way of. It says 6x7. The newer models will just say 6.7. They probably got some feedback from customers that they were getting some camera shake from the mirror, because it is a huge mirror that has to fly back and forth. And so, yeah, if it's on a tripod, that mirror can actually create some camera shake, like the recoil of a rifle. So they added this mirror lockup button, which basically makes the mirror go up before you shoot a picture, and then you can just actuate the shutter, reducing as much camera shake as possible. In 1990 was when they changed to the 6.7. You'll see them with like just the one big Pentax logo, but that's pretty much it. And then in 1999 they brought out the 6.7 II, which is basically a new camera at this point. For a better review of the 6.7 II, I would recommend Carl McDougall's video, because he's got a really good video on this, specifically the 6.7 II.
I'm just about know what you mean. I've wound it on, haven't I? No, I haven't.
I don't know actually.
I didn't wind it on.
Now,
Oh bloody hell! Right.
yeah. So you're going to need to walk forward and back to try and find where you're.
Oh my god, this is way different.
Yeah.
It is very. There it is. Right, I think it's there. Don't blink. Seeing it through the lens is really quite weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so lenses. So I already touched on this lens, the 105 2.4. This is a really popular lens for this camera, and I think mainly it's just because of its size and because it's pretty close to 50mm, 35mm equivalent, or full frame equivalent. So like when you're, you know, looking through the viewfinder, it just looks quite familiar, that focal length. I think it is probably one of the lowest aperture, one of the widest aperture lenses you can get for the 6.7. A perfect amount of bokeh really for like this camera. I rarely put this lens on, this is a 75mm f4.5. This is probably the cheapest lens you can get in the range of 6.7 lenses. So my camera came with this lens, but I think you can get these for like 60, 70 quid. As for lenses I don't have, there is like a whole range of lenses for these. So we'll list all of the lenses that you can get for this camera on the screen now. But there's like fish eyes, you know, crazy telephoto lenses, and then everything in between really, so.
Head only.
We need to get this. Times are hard.
Despite the fact that we were shooting only from the neck up, he's still insisting
just
on taking all of his clothes off.
So wind the lens all the way as close as it can go.
Oh yeah. Hang on. Oh my god, this is horrible. Right, eyes are in.
Nice.
Oh god.
Eyes are the key thing to get focus, I would say.
This is actually like an original Pentax extension tube, and they did like a set of 3 of these. Essentially, this just fits in between your lens and the body. But what this does, it allows you to focus quite a bit closer. Great for portraits, really sharp. Depth of field is amazing on medium format, and with this lens, the 105 2.4, you just can't beat it. I would like to touch on extras because there's loads of extras that I don't have on this camera. A popular one being the massive left wooden grip that you can get for this. You will always see people with that wooden grip. I think people just love the look of the camera with it. Yeah, I find it's, you know, even though it's heavy, like it is kind of easy to hold, and the weight is like, I don't know, it's balanced nicely. So I've never really found the need for a grip. And then there's a few companies that do like a right hand grip that makes it kind of more similar to the 672.
Right, so I'm gonna go landscape and then portrait for the last 2.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I reckon do another light reading.
I've done 5.6,
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
640 it was. Right, then I do portrait.
That was relatively quick for you. Normally,
Yeah, it's speeding up.
And then
Only half a roll in.
what if these are all out of focus?
Well,
When will I know?
that's a lesson learned.
Done.
Done. Wind
This
it
is
on.
me feeling like all,
So you just wind on as if you're winding more pictures on, so you just keep going.
well, how do I open it up?
That can be a bit awkward to pull out sometimes.
You'd think I'd never shot film before doing this.
Yeah.
All fingers and thumbs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey. Yeah, then he just drops it and it unrolls.
Shall I move that one over to
That's
there?
fine.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Right, so that's my
They don't always
first
stick.
half roll done in the Pentax 6.7. 6.7?
That's it, yeah.
Not
This is technically a
6.7.
The cheapest models out of the ones I mentioned at the start is obviously going to be the first one, the most basic, which is this one. I think it was like £400, and yeah, these are kind of around that price, 400 to 500. And you should be able to get it with like a basic lens like this, one of the less desirable ones. But then, you know, you might get lucky and someone might sell it with one of these. I paid I think it was just under £200 for this lens. And then going up to like the 6.7 with the mirror lockup, they're pretty similar prices. Yeah, you will pay a little bit extra for that mirror lockup version. They're all just a lot newer and better condition, so you're going to pay a bit more for them. And then, as I said at the start, the 6.72s are like double that, triple that.
Okay, so we'll try and do photos like the same as what you just did. It's more like the era of cameras, and like that camera in its day was the top portrait camera, you know, like all the portrait photographers would have used that, and then this is just pretty much the best that film cameras got in 35mm, and it's a modern lens, just like that. Okay, and I'll see I don't know what minimum focus is on this lens. Let's see what, okay, this lens, where are we? Oh, okay, this does go pretty close. Okay, cool. Well, it's not until I took the camera away that I realised, yeah, I realised how close we are. And then I reckon kind of look, yeah, like up there somewhere. Yeah, that's good, that's it. and then now do one where you're like just holding it with your, yeah. Should we do some of you, Mark? Got a few photos left, might as well.
The massive prism on this, which just feels like it's half the weight of the camera, does come off, and there's a few different prisms you can get for these. So this one is just a completely unmetered prism, so I would just meter manually with a app on my phone or a separate light meter, and then set my settings accordingly. But you can get a TTL prism, which means through the lens, so it just has a light meter inside it. You set your ISO and it hooks up to this, has a little arm that hooks up to this dial here. Or something to look out for on these, if you want one that's got a TTL prism with the light meter and everything, something to look out for in the top of these. In here there is a little chain, but it'll relay like information to the TTL prism so it can know where your aperture is and things. Now in mine you can actually see that chain is broken, and that is a very common thing that happens. So I essentially, unless I got that fixed, I could not have a TTL prism. That wasn't really something that bothered me. It just enabled me to get the camera for a good price. So now the reason these chains break is to do with the sequence that you remove this prism. So I've actually got it written down here because it doesn't really, my chain's already broken, so it doesn't matter. So you're supposed to take the lens off first. So if you ever want to take the prism off, you're supposed to take lens off first and then the prism. And yeah, that's basically to do with whatever is on the TTL prism can, I guess, put stress on this chain in here if the lens is still on.
So one more thing I wanted to show on the Pentax is how to fire the shutter without filming it, like just for testing purposes basically, because I always like to fire the shutter like with the back open and make sure like the speeds are somewhat accurate and everything. So what we want to do is open the back like that, as you normally would, and then on the top here, if you come over the top here, there's this little sort of thing here. I don't know if you can see it. You want to, my thumb's going to cover it up, but you want to turn this, push down and turn, and then close the back. This will like advance, the camera will think it's advanced, so you'll see now it's on like 4 or 5. So you're basically tricking the camera into thinking it's got film in it, right? So once you've done that and closed the back, it will then actually let you cock the shutter. And then once the shutter's cocked, you can open the back again and then test the shutter.
Okay, so for your controls on the 6x7, it is really quite basic. You've got your advanced lever, you've got your shutter, which has like a little lock on it there. You've got your shutter speeds here, which go from 1000 to 1 second, and then you've got bulb, which you can control with a you know, like a shutter release cable if you have one. You've got a battery check light there, which is always handy. On your lens, you've got your aperture ring and then your lens release here. So yeah, like it's really similar to like most 35mm cameras, and I think that's really the big appeal with this camera.